All right, I'm going to model telling time to the half hour. And once again, I'm going to use the strategies that we've practiced earlier this year in our class. And we are going to use the colors red and blue to color code the hours and minutes like we did on our paper clocks. So just like we did on the telling time to the hour, I'm going to use my red to color code the hour hands, the shorthand. So I'm going to go through and trace each of those hour hands, but I am not going to circle the number that goes with them yet because I want to go back and review how to figure that out. Red hour, red hour, red hour. And then I'm going to go back on my digital time and color the left side of the line red for the red hour. Just to review. Now, here where it says half past, we don't need to write minutes. We're only going to be writing the hour. So I'll highlight that with red. Red hour on the left. So to figure out which number it is, this is tricky for first graders. So I want to make sure that I review this and parents can be watching to make sure students are writing the correct number. If they're not, you will want to maybe have them go back and practice this. So we see that this hour hand is halfway between the 5 and the 6, and that's why we use the words half past. So on our paper clocks, we have learned that as the minute hand goes around the clock starting at the 12 and it gets down to the bottom, like you see here, that is halfway around the clock. It's half past the hour. While that's happening on a real clock, students have noticed that the hour hand is slowly moving over to the next hour. And right now it's half past the first hour and halfway to the next number. So when it's between 5 and 6, it is half past the 5. It's the first number. And we don't call it the second number until it gets all the way over there to the next hour. So looking ahead to the next one, between the 1 and the 2, the half past is always going to be half past the first number 1. Okay, I'm looking with the 9 and the 10, I'm looking for the first hour, that's 9. Now 12 and 1 gets tricky. When students are looking at numbers in chronological order, they know that 12 comes after 1. So sometimes students look at this and say, well, 1 comes first. But we remind them that time really starts up here at the top of the clock. So on a clock, 12 comes before 1. So I often have to remind students of that. And you might want to watch for that, parents, if you are helping your student. Now I can go back and write the number or the hour that I circled. So here it's the hour is 5, the hour is 1, the hour is 9, the hour is 9, the hour is 11. For the minutes, you can see that they have written the first few. Just like we wrote 00 at the top of the clock for the hours, on our paper clocks, we also wrote 30 down at the bottom of the clock to represent 30 minutes. And I'm going to trace over that minute hand and I'm going to extend it all the way to the end of the clock to show that it's going past that hour of 6 to 30 minutes. I'm going to do that on all of my clocks. I'm going to draw it in blue and write 30. Okay, so going back, you can trace over the 30 that was already written here. So 30 minutes when my minute hand points down. Now here, they said half past. You can underline the words half past in blue. And I forgot to go back and underline my 30 minutes, my minute hand on the clock. So red, blue, red, blue, red, blue. But when we get to the words half past, they're switching the order around. When we say half past, that's what you can underline for your minutes. And the hour is over here. So it's the opposite when we're using the words half past. But it still means 11:30. Half past 11 is another way to say 11:30. So that is how you can write time to the half hour.